Okay, today we are just going to check what we have defined and assigned. Financial accounting, assign company code to company. QT. Okay, this is assigned. And next we'll check logistics plant to company code. So plant reports to company code. SDQT. Okay, this is also assigned. Then randomly what we'll do, we will assign sales group to sales office. Let's check that. Okay, we have commerce and retail. This is also assigned SD1, SD2. And T. S0, S1. Okay, accessory S1, S2. Distribution channel S0, S1. Okay. Materials management. Purchasing org to company code. SDQT, we don't have that. Okay. We don't have SDQT. SCPU, SFIN. Line purchase org to plant. SDQT, SDQT. Does not exist. Okay, it doesn't exist. So let's see. What is our purchase org? Let's see that. Define. Maintain purchase org. Okay, it's not defined. Save. Okay, this is done. So we go back and we then assign purchase org to plant. Save. Okay, standard purchasing to plant, assign purchasing to reference purchase org. We don't need that. Okay. Now that is done. We have another step but that is related to financial accounting, but that is important, but we will look at it later on. Before that, we'll go to logistics, material master. Basic settings, material types. What are material types? Let's see that. Okay. ROH, raw materials. Okay. ROH will select it, quantity value updating, and we want to update raw material quantity and raw material value at plant level, valuation areas plant level. Okay. Enter. Valuation area is SDQT. Over here, we don't have quantity and value updating. So we'll update that. Pipeline mandatory and pipeline allowed. Now, pipeline is basically when the vendors have to ensure continuous supply of the stock and material, the said material to your plant, which is quite relevant for scenarios, industries like beverages, oil and gas, okay, FMCG. Over there, super retail chains, okay, save chemical industry. Over there, automotive industry, you need pipelines over there. Okay, so pipeline basically is tied with the vendors and with the mass material where they have to ensure continuous supply of. Okay, sorry, material types, and next material type is HALB, which is semi-finished goods, quantity value updating. Enter SDQT, save. Material types. So after semi-finished goods, we have finished goods, FERT. This is orange warning sign. Just press enter, it will go away. Valuation area, SDQT. Data was saved. Okay, we're done with that. Define number ranges for each material type. What are the intervals that we have? Now, these are the master data intervals. We can create our raw material, semi-finished good with these ranges. Okay. Change. No, we don't want to change the number status. Change groups. We'll go to change groups. Okay. Over here, we'll find Control F, ROH. ROH is raw materials, ROH, this one. Okay. And this is assigned to 02. 02. Okay. Now, assign element to group. We'll create a group, but before that, we must know what are the number ranges that we have, which are not exhausted and used. So let's go back and SPRO, reference IMG. Data master, basics settings, material types, number ranges, intervals. Now over here we have a line of intervals. We have to see which interval is best, which is not used, 101 to 102. Okay, this is not used. 7, 10, only 10, 10 units are available. Not a good one. 3210, 32199. These are 100 pieces. 300, 399. Again, this is unused. We can use these as well. And we have 100 to 199, only 10 are remaining. Then it will be exhausted. 110, 19, 50 are remaining. 2 to 3. This is also a good one. A hash. Okay. A hash will copy this and change groups. We'll go for Control F, HALP, semi-finished goods, help, and we will place the cursor over here and assign element to group. And that was a hash. Yeah. A hash. Assign element to group. Find a hash. And we have help. Okay. Now, we will find PERT, enter, PERT, assign element to group to a hash. Okay. A hash. And we have PERT as well. So just save it. Now, all of your finished goods and semi-finished will be generated using the a hash number range, which is, we've already seen it. Raw material will have a different number range. FERT and semi-finished good will have the same, but it can be different as well. It can be different as per material groups, material types. We'll see how material groups are made. Since we have divisions, e-commerce and retail, then of course, we can differentiate and separate the number ranges. Just to differentiate, just to know, because from number range, you can identify and associate the material either with retail or with e-commerce. That is how your practice can be aligned and synchronized. That will help. But why do we need material types and number ranges? Because we need to have number ranges synchronized, number ranges for every material type. Material types can be different. Material groups can be different. Like, for example, if you're talking about e-commerce, in e-commerce, let's say we have 5,000 articles, units, articles. Now, in those 5,000s, there will be many categories, many material groups. For example, like mobile phones. Okay, in mobile phones, we have models, Nokia, Vivo, Oppo. Okay, so now for every mobile will have a separate configuration. Okay, some mobiles will fall in the category of 3 GB data, 3 GB RAM. Some mobile phones will be categorized under luxury. Some will be categorized under 8 GB RAM. Okay. In that case, in that very sense, as a consultant, you will have to establish the understanding. You will have to establish the understanding that material groups will be different under the same material type. Okay. You will have to establish it as a consultant. Okay. Now that was that basic settings. Field selections. We'll see field selections later on, not right now, because it won't make any sense right now to discuss it, because we have to first go for front end first. Okay. Okay. Basic functions, pricing, output control, material determination. These are some advanced um, topics again. Once we are done with the front end, then we will have a better understanding of these areas. Okay. Material management, general settings, material lock. We don't want that right now. Purchasing, yes, that is our concern right now because we are going to first create RFQ, quota arrangement, source listing. Okay. Purchasing groups. Purchasing groups function under purchase order. We'll also create contract and scheduling agreement as well. New entries, SD as S00. Now purchasing group can be different. Okay. How? Now, under a purchase org, there can be various groups. Some groups will be responsible to buy and procure low-cost items. Some will require close collaboration with the management for high-end and high-priced material, assets. And even in material, the material types will differ. Some groups will be assigned a mobile phone. Some groups will be assigned accessories. Some groups will be assigned car accessories. Some will be assigned uh, industrial equipment. So purchasing groups can be different. Okay. In that very sense, you can have various purchasing groups. And these purchasing groups then differentiate the vendors because you cannot club and collect all the vendors at one place because that will, if the quantum becomes huge in some years, it will be difficult for vendors to be segregated. So for every material group and material type, you will have a purchasing group that will be dealing with that very vendor. So if you have like 300 vendors, out of those 300 vendors, you will know which vendor is dealing with what material type and material group. Okay. I hope you get the point. You get the logic. So you have to understand it like a consultant, maintain purchasing area. No, right now, we'll just go for scheduling agreement, number ranges, document types. This is very important because document types do matter for your release procedures. We have release procedures over here. We'll see what are release procedures for PR, PO, and we have release procedures for scheduling agreements also. Okay. Now, a normal agreement scheduling. Now, what is a scheduling agreement? A scheduling agreement is where you establish with your vendor what material in what quantity will be delivered on what date. Okay. In what quantity it will be delivered, and the vendor will have to abide by that scheduling agreement that you will have established. Okay. LP, this is normal scheduling agreement. There are other categories also. Stock transport scheduling agreement, allowed item categories, the item categories that you can handle with scheduling agreement is standard consignment subcontracting third party text. We'll go for standard link purchase requisition, and document type is NB, most common NB, standard. Okay. And we have categories: no account assignment, related order, delete scheduling, dialog indicator. Okay. Now, account assignment, we'll see this when we create a purchase order account assignment, that is the GL account assignment. Now, you have to differentiate when you have different material types, material groups, you will have different GLs handling those material types and consumption of that very material based on the material groups that you have made. So again, it is up to your understanding how you want that. Okay, now this is related to order, which is related to purchase order. It is linking with that purchase order. Okay. Linking, you want it linked to the purchase order or not. Okay. And then we have dialog indicator, whether it creates a dialog or not after creating scheduling agreement. Save. It's already saved. It's already by default the settings provided by SAP. Release procedure, we'll see this later on. Parallel processing, authorization check for GL accounts. And what do we need? What else? Confirmations, account assignment. Account assignment, we'll see how we can integrate finance with MM, and that is an important area for understanding because that is always asked during the interviews, and this is quite useful for your projects as well. Okay, that was scheduling agreement. Then we have contract. We have release procedures for contract as well. Number ranges, document types, again, the same thing. Okay. If you want some change, of course, we'll look into that. Purchase requisition, we have a release procedure again. Now, release procedure is a bit technical. We'll see once we create purchase requisition. Again, document types, NB will be the standard document type. Okay, purchase requisition. Purchase requisition, NB, allowed item categories. The item categories that we have: standard, assignment, third party, stock transfer, service, return, transport, pack. Okay. Document type, serial number profiles. Let's go for consignment. Link purchase requisition. We have purchase requisition will be linked to standard PO, RFQ as well. Okay. Value contract, scheduling agreement. Okay. PR is also created by MRP, which is material requirements planning. Okay. So these are some of the very neat details that have to be in your mind. Okay, number ranges, we don't need that. It's already all predefined. Okay, RFQ, number ranges, document types, release procedures. We have release procedures for every level: RFQ, PR, scheduling agreement, contracts, PO. Okay, after PO, we have GRN. At the point of GRN, we have the GL accounts getting the entries, because before GRN, which is good received note, there is no accounting entry. Okay, there is no influence and no recording is made in finance until the GRN is recorded. Okay. Okay, supplier quotation process, document types for RFQ. We can have the standard. We'll stick with the standard. External resources requirement request for quote, RQ. This is document type. Okay, allowed item categories, and this is material group. Based on material group, it is there. Okay, material group is W. Link purchase requisition. This is the document type NB, material group and material group. Okay, item category W, material group. Now this is important because these are asked in the interviews, so you should actually have an understanding for all of this. Document types, quotation process, tolerance limit for archiving supplier quotation, text for RFQ, blockchain. Okay, serial numbers. I guess let's move on to the next level. And the same goes for source listing. Now, source list again, what vendor is able to provide what material, and it is at the source level that we create vendor grading as to what is the grading of the vendor when it comes to supplying that material, which is based on that's based on certain metrics like delivery date, delivery time, previous record. Based on that, the vendor grading is between 0 and 100. Okay. I hope these things are getting clear. Now, next is we create vendor master so that we can go and start creating our documents and material master. all together at the same time. Okay, accounts receivable, accounts payable. This is a repetition because last time you did attend this part. Master data, preparations, define account groups. That's the first step. New entries, SDQT, vendor group, counting. Okay, this is coming from accounting. Next comes the tricky part, which is number ranges. And what number range do we need? Intervals, the one that have external check 120 to 200, that is only 80, and we need 2299. This is a good one, M1. Now we want to see if M1 is available or not in the same numbering denomination, which is 400,000 to 5 lakhs, 500,000, M1. Okay. SPRO will open up a next session, share. So we will go for cross-application components. So this is all a setup before we start doing the front end. Cross-application components, SAP Business Partner, basic settings, number range and groupings. Define number ranges, intervals, M1, which is 409, 400,000 to 400, 500. This shouldn't be 400, 500. This should be okay. Overlaps. Now it is overlapping. This is something really very, very difficult on your nerves because many people are configuring. Yes. So go for it. I'll try to change this 400, 500. Okay. Let's see if it saves. Yeah, it has saved. That is good. And now we can match it. Okay. How we can match it? We'll go for define groupings and assign number ranges, new entries, SDQT, SDQT. What is this? Vendor. Grouping. SDQT. Vendor grouping. CAC. Number range M1. Save. Save. This is done. Number ranges are defined. And over here. So the number ranges have to be the same. Assign number ranges to vendor account group. Now the number ranges at cross-application and at financial level will be the same. We have to match that. That is important. M1. M1 is already having that external check that we just saw a little while back. Okay, let's continue in the next lecture. We'll take it from here.